Good morning, I'm Jerry, just sharing words from the Bible with you. Yesterday we explored the book of John, chapter 9, 1 through, it was 1 through 12. And this was the miracle where Jesus healed the blind man and restored his sight. And that's what we read through yesterday, up to the point of basically in verse 12 says, "Then they said unto him, Where is he? Who said he said, I know not." So he was blind. He wasn't sure who restored his sight. So let's pick up from there. Now, before we do, I just want to point out we're going to get into a point where the Pharisees get involved. They're like the religious leaders, if you would. And like a lot of our legal proceedings over the last several years, they're basically they're not trying to find or seek the truth. What they're trying to find is, or what they're trying to do is basically set a snare to catch Jesus in breaking what they perceive the law. The Pharisees had taken the law from Moses and they just perverted it and distorted it. So they weren't seeking truth. They're figuring out a way in which that they could condemn Jesus. And that's what all this is about. So kind of like how some things have happened in the last several years. So anyhow, so let's get at it today. We're going to read it's same book of John, chapter 9, and we're going to look at verses 13 through 23. So he had stated in verse 12 that he didn't know who restored his sight or opened his eyes. So they brought to the Pharisees him that aforetime was blind, and it was the Sabbath day when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. You got to realize the Sabbath day was a very sacred, holy day to the Jews. So it was the Sabbath day when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. Then said the Pharisees also, asked him how he had received his sight. He said unto them, He put clay upon my eyes, and I washed, and I do see. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not of God, because he keepeth not the Sabbath day. Others said, How can a man that is a sinner do such miracles? And there was a division among them, among the Pharisees. They said unto the blind man again, What sayest thou of him that hath opened thine eyes? He said, He is a prophet. But the Jews did not believe concerning him that he had been blind and received his sight until they called the parents of him that had received his sight. This is how far digging they are. Think about, again, look at some of the proceedings we've seen legally lately in the past several years. And they asked them, saying, Is this your son, who ye said was born blind? How then doth he now see? In verse 20, his parents answered them and said, We know that this is our son, and that he was born blind. But by what means he now seeth, we know not. Of who hath opened his eyes, we know not. He said, He is of age, ask him. He shall speak for himself. His parents were trying to distance themselves from this shenanigans, is what it was. Okay. So verse 22, These words spake he parents, because they feared the Jews, for the Jews had already agreed that if any man doth confess that he was Christ, he should be put out of the synagogue. That was a big deal for the Jewish people. If you were put out, you were like banished. Okay, and then verse 23, Therefore said his parents, He is of age, ask him. Well, I think that's enough for today. We'll pick up on this again tomorrow, and it gets pretty exciting. So I hope you enjoyed this. I love you. Hope you have a great day. If you do me a favor, share this if you like it with your friends. And also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. It'll help you become notified when I put out a new video. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.